So real-time route optimization, smart use of technology or just overkill? Let's find out. Hello, today episode is about real-time route optimization. And Christian, my doubt about real-time route optimization is that is it smart move or it's overkill? Why is that? Because what I observed in implementation that the knowledge, know-how of people who deliver are still much higher than any mathematical algorithm which can help a lot optimization. And in reality, if we want to force them drivers delivery guys too much, the final effect is the efficiency is lower than if they use the knowledge of the place. So how to enter the building, how to get to the another side of the street, etc., etc. So what do you think? Is it possible to really use in efficient way real time route optimization?
I'm a true believer. And I'm a true believer that it's possible. And I know it's possible. It's a question about that you actually, there are so many intelligent tools today on the market, and they're getting better and better just because of the compute power that you have today. I think that some of the interesting things is that we are able to, let's say, there are problems, and there always be problems. And most of the most convenient problem that we have is a management problem. That we need to have the management to actually take an active role in making sure that the drivers are following the route, and that you actively get the feedback from the drivers where you have a problem, where we are mistakenly doing things. And that is the biggest problem when we talk about implementation of these systems. You always observe also that we have quite a turnover of drivers today, and that goes for most of us as operators. Driving a lorry is not the easiest thing in the world and can be extremely stressful. And that's why that we have a high turnover. The people who are coming in, many times they have no knowledge about where to drive, and they don't have the knowledge that the old drivers have, where they obtained all the knowledge that you say. So they will follow the routes. And we see that also. That is actually the fact. Today, the technologies are becoming more and more advanced, which is a perfect thing to incorporate in your models. I love a small German startup which is called Trumetric. They're focusing on the last meters of the last mile. They use a sonar in the scanner to actually build up the master data on what happens from where you park the car to where you walk in to deliver the parcel. And they can measure that you have to walk 300 meters. They can measure that you're taking an elevator up, that you have to stand in front of a reception desk, or that you have to go to the back door, whatever. They can do that, and they can make that into data that can be given to the driver. We have possibilities today to get dongles in our distribution vehicles, where we over time can tell where is the best parking spot in order to reach that end consumer that you're delivering to. So we can actually generate data which is connected to every delivery point, and thereby also giving possibilities on where we can park with I would say, the shortest time between where you park until you scan the parcel out. So that's what we call the route point to the delivery point. We have also possibilities to take pictures from the sorter, and give that to the distributor so he can find the parcel in the vehicle. We have also possibilities to give the weight. All these things we have. We have possibilities to make sort plans also for the distribution vehicle. Like Amazon, they put it in bags, put it on shelves. We have chosen to make our vehicles into 6 zones, where we sort the parcel into the 6 zones. We do quite a lot of tasks in order to help the driver. And when it comes to optimizing on the roads, you're becoming better and better. And there's quite some interesting things happening also on the market. Is that many of these, let's say, optimization companies, they're mathematicians. They have an idea to solve how we are making the routes. So when you look at them, they're quite good at it, all of them, I would say. But what you have possibilities is also to purchase algorithm across these mathematicians, I would say. So if you find something that could help you in making your route even better, you have a possibility to go and discuss with them and say, okay, can I purchase this little string of algorithm, and then add that to the one that you already have? I think it's about lack of ingenuity in order to make sure that we are making it work, and a management issue.
This is good point and very interesting about buying algorithm. But anyway, what I saw in the implementation of route optimization, the problem with algorithm sometimes is that your reality is much more complicated than algorithm. It means that, for example, if you do optimization of routing by mathematical algorithm, your route will not fit to delivery zones. And it doesn't include, for example, pickups. If you do door-to-door delivery, you have mostly deliveries, but you have also some ad hoc pickups. But mathematic routes are completely out of your delivery zone, and you cannot come back as a driver for the pickup. So this is kind of thinking about delivery from central delivery to distribution point, from warehouse to shops. But the postal parcel deliveries are much more complicated because they have different layers of how you need to pick up, deliver, etc. But that is pure mathematics doesn't work.
It is, but the pure mathematics is not as simple as you make it. Pure mathematics today is also with flexibility, and I think that one of the things which is really interesting is that I usually give an example that you have today you operate with your zones so they are movable. It's like you have a group of balloons that you press against each other. So what you should get into the flexibility is that you have maybe, let's say 80-90% of the parcels which are in the same zone, which is meaning that you obtain some kind of knowledge about how your deliveries are. But you also every day will have possibilities to serve 10 to 20% of the neighbor's zone. So so the mathematic is not square. It's actually flexible. And this is feasible to do, which gives you an enormous amount of flexibility. The other thing is that we have been making, it's like it's like when you go to school and and somebody pulls your leg. We've been doing that to ourselves. And it comes probably many times I would say it comes from the product side because we give possibilities that consumers can have fixed delivery times, they can have fixed pickup times and all these things. My calculations showed back in the days that if you have 3 fixed pickups for every hour, you can just as well stop doing the optimization. You need to have the flexibility, and that is one of the things that I always have dialogue with the salespeople, because salespeople, they love to sell fixed delivery time points and stuff like that. But it actually crooks your optimization model. So it's a question about that you need to have a very holistic view in order to make a very good optimization. And also you also need to figure out that do you want to have the pickup points like home pickup and all these things, because it actually generates a lot of mathematics that you need to solve. So it's a question about how you build up your products, both for the delivery and the pickup, and also combining all these things together. That's why that if you want to have a very simple solution, you just don't give many opportunities. And if you want to have an advanced solution, you give many opportunities to your end consumers for what they should decide and stuff like that. So it's very much something that you're in control of, I would say, yourself. But I would say the main reason that we are not succeeding with these things is a management issue. We have systems which I can tell you, we have systems that generate, a measurement between how you follow the route and gives a KPI on that. I can tell you, I've seen many, many, many examples that nobody is actually looking into that, and nobody takes the dialogue with the driver. And this is also why when a driver maybe gives a feedback, how do they give a feedback today? Are they writing it on a on a piece of paper, or is it something that they can put into a system where it's actually caught and used the next day? Let's say that you have a bridge which is under construction, and the guy, he goes every day and have the same problem that he can't get his lorry underneath that bridge. If he probably mentioned that once or twice to his manager and say, well, how come this route is always dictating me to go there? He will never trust the system again. You need to make sure that you data capture these challenges you have. I can give you an example, which is very, very, we had a new part in Denmark that was built up, and the driver was not following the route. And we said, okay, what's wrong here? Because he doesn't follow the route. The thing was the driver was smarter than the system, because nobody told the system that underneath that whole part of the city that was built up, there was a parking garage where he was using the parking garage as his route. So he drove under the roads, and it was much, much faster. If anybody had told that into the system, we could have done that, but nobody had told that. So he was getting a route which he didn't follow because it didn't make sense for him, because that data was never captured. So it's a question about that you have the dialogue and you're capturing it. That this is my take.
Okay, so I understand the conclusion is that it's not only mathematics. We need to listen drivers, but we need to listen drivers in smart way and capture and map the behavior. So if we combine mathematics algorithms with drivers' knowledge and capture everything, then we can have real efficiency in real-time route optimization.
I can give you a good example. There's a company called German Autolab. They are doing that with talks. So what you can do is that you say that you have data in the system saying that your next delivery will be. So when he gets into the car, the system can say your next delivery needs to you need the gate code is 4432, and you have your parcel is in zone 4. That the system can tell him when he gets into the car, and the car can say to him, yeah, but normally you take 2 minutes to do this. You took 4 minutes this time. Yes, but the code to the gate was actually changed. So it's now 332. This system then can actually take that data and put it into your master data. So it captures. These drivers, they are busy. They should be communicating verbally to the system, and we should generate the master data from that. I think these are the things which are able to get on the market, but you don't see them used yet. And I think that we have to move that way.